Imagine a year where a movie features a cover of a song that will single-handedly ruin all dance classes forever.
Oh no. What year is that, Sandro?
The year is 2001.
Hello and welcome to All Around Me Are Oldies and Goodies. My name is Sandro and I'm joined by Zach and we're talking about Donnie Darko, once again proving that this podcast is actually a Film Bro podcast in disguise. Zacho, how are you doing today on the Film Bro podcast?
All around me are familiar soundtracks, dancing around tracks.
Yeah, I mean,
dancing around tracks.
That's a good song though.
Yeah, what a banger, I would say. Certified hood classic.
I mean, Donnie Darko was wearing a hoodie, so it's a hood classic.
Exactly, and it's from 2001, and as we all know, that therefore makes it a classic. It is old at that point.
Well, people love this movie. People think this movie is really cool, and it's called Donnie Darko. Before we give any first impressions...
Oh, alright.
We watched the director's cut because it's the director's cut, and it's the one that the director wants you to watch.
Yeah.
Even though everyone on the internet screams that the theatrical cut is better, but no, we watched the director's cut.
Is the theatrical cut longer?
The theatrical cut has got no puzzle pieces to put together what's happening.
Well, then it is wrong and stupid.
Something else is stupid about this movie, but Zach, what did you think of Donnie Darko?
What do you mean? This film was alright. I enjoyed it. I kind of liked it.
Okay.
Probably not for the reasons it should. I don't know. I liked the weird aspect of it. I liked the weird story where it was like, what the fuck is going on sort of thing. I liked trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. That was fun. I enjoyed trying to piece this fuck up of a puzzle together. And then I enjoyed some of it. I enjoyed watching it. I liked it.
You enjoyed watching it?
I enjoyed watching it. I'll say I enjoyed watching it. I don't think it's the best film, but it was way more sci-fi than I expected.
Oh yeah, we are in horror month, but this is not a horror film. So.
It kind of is though, because it's got horror elements.
Oh, it's got some jump scares. Yeah,
it's more of a dark movie, not a horror movie.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
What did you think, Sandro?
Look, I'll preface this. I've seen it before on TV, and I already know all the fan theories and shit. This movie has a lot of good stuff in it.
Yeah,
cast is great. I think it looks really good. It introduced a whole era of teenagers into the idea of picking apart movies to figure out what the meaning is. They weren't just doing that in film class. Now they were doing it for fun. And I think that's cool. But I also think this movie's really dumb. This is a dumb movie. It's not deep. This is not a deep film. This is a movie with a bunch of half-baked ideas that do not add up. That tricks people into thinking it's smart because it's made like a David Lynch movie.
But Sandro, I watched it and I think it's this and I think I'm smart, Sandro, because I figured it out.
Well, if this movie makes you feel smart, great, but you can't. This is not fucking Lost Highway. This is not a Memento. This is a teen movie with a bunch of unanswered questions. That's all this is. That's my hot take that everyone disagrees with.
You're allowed to dislike a film, I think.
I don't dislike it. I think it's fine. It's got some cool... I love the imagery of the Rabbit Man.
Yeah, the Rabbit Man, that was great. I loved it. It was very funny.
Oh, and I think the script is really cringy.
Oh, yeah.
And not in a good way, but also in a funny way, so I can't, hate it.
Yeah, no. I thought it was cringy in a funny way. This was very funny to me, but also very 2001, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It was, it was very cringe.
Yeah, it's more like cringy cringo.
That was high-level comedy.
We're going to switch up the format. We're going to give our takes on what's happening, and then we're going to go through, like, key moments of the movie. We're not doing the whole synopsis because, honestly, there's too much.
We could be here for longer than the film talking about the film, or we could not.
We could do a discussion and have it be fun. But before we do discussions, a few things. Number one, what else did I have to pick from this week? But before you talk about that, number two.
Well,
we said last week that there's a new Patreon episode out, but then we pushed it to this week because it's a horror film, and we weren't doing a horror film on the main show this week, so we're going to do a horror film on Patreon this week. And it's called The Others, with Nicole Kidman. It's haunted house and spooky times. So that's out on Wednesday. Check it out, I guess.
woo.
But speaking of twists, what else came out this week? That wasn't even a segue. I didn't reference twists.
What a twist! The segue itself was horrible, just like the other horror that we could have picked. We have Ahsoka, not the Star Wars one.
Boo.
An epic historical drama musical from India. A Chronicle of Corpses.
Oh, sounds like a bloody regular Thursday night on the drinks, boys.
Oh, yeah, mate. Absolute fucking banger that. Alright, it's a gothic art house film about what it would be like to witness a series of murders in a house through a telescope.
Oh, remember telescopes? What a throwback.
Yeah, I remember when they became outdated and we never used them ever again.
No, we don't use them. Never. There's no point in using telescopes anymore.
Yeah, what a throwback. Bones! It's Snoop Dogg plays a murdered guy that rises from the grave to get revenge.
Could be really fun, not gonna lie.
The poster looks sick.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg looks cool AF.
Cool AF.
I want to do this film. Put it on the list.
It's already on the list. It's there from last week.
K-Pax. Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I'll put him in the fucking grave. Move on.
Right.
Next option.
On the line.
Ooh.
A guy meets a woman on the train but forgets to ask her number. So he has to start marketing-style campaign to try and find her.
Yeah, I think that sounds really cute.
I think that sounds stupid.
Until I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score, and I was like, that could be a good film. But then I saw the score, and I went, never mind.
It could be, but it's not. And also, the concept is dumb.
No.
13 Ghosts. A widower inherits the house of his ghost hunter uncle. Spoilers. It's a little haunted.
Ooh. Yeah, that one, looks really dumb, but also very funny. It's like a remake of an old film as well, which,
Yeah, I kind of wanted to do that one.
Yeah. But instead, I picked the non-horror.
Yeah. Well, it's, again, a little bit spooky. A little spook.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, 2001, this is a very popular movie from that year that everyone on the internet talks about. So it's time to throw our opinions into the mix, because people care about that, apparently. I don't know.
No!
All right, let's do it. Donnie Darko was released October 26th in 2001. It is written and directed by Richard Kelly. It's his first ever movie after doing a couple shorts. He did a couple other movies after this, including a thriller film called The Box, in 2009, which was his last film to date. I think he's been working on the sequel to Donnie Darko since then.
Oh, okay. The question is, what's in the box?
What's in the box? It's definitely not a plot.
Oh.
No, I think he wrote a really cool script, purposefully made it ambiguous.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, the fan base were like, it means so many things.
For this movie?
And that ruined the movie.
What ruined the movie for you were the fans making up fan theories about it.
No, fans thinking it's smart.
Oh, right.
I guess it is smart, but also, no, it's not.
The fans thinking it's smart ruined the movie for you. I'm just trying to point out, I don't think this is a problem with the movie, or really a problem with the fans themselves. I think it's a problem with you.
No, look, it's like when you watch, it's like when a movie is like overhyped, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when everyone's like, oh my god, you gotta go watch this new big blockbuster, it's so much fun. And then you watch it and you're like, this is very average.
Yeah. Definitely if you've been told it beforehand and you have the prior expectation.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. You were expecting something a little bit brainier, a little bit more big brain.
Yes, instead this was like a Jaden Smith song and it was very fake woke.
What do you think of just a left field thing, the whole Inception ending thing?
It's just a creative choice that doesn't really matter or impact the film at all.
Right.
It's just a really good movie that ends with a, what do you think? And then you're left to be like, cool. And then you move on.
Because that's left deliberately and ambiguously.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this movie does feel very Nolan in that, yeah, it's quite ambiguous and made to make you think. It's not as annoying as Nolan gets. Like, after Inception, he got annoying. But, you know.
yeah. Kind of got into his head, as it were.
Yes. But no, I think, like, Inception has enough puzzle pieces for you to put it together, whereas Donnie Darko, I don't know. I think the director was like, I'm really smart. I'm going to intentionally leave out the puzzle pieces unless you read this book or unless you watch this other version of the movie. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, well, I think Inception's not really a puzzle.
No.
It just has a little bit of a thing in it, whereas this movie is the whole thing is the ambiguous.
Yeah, that's the whole selling point.
You're a connoisseur of them. That's the problem. You're too used to the high vintage wines on the top shelf to come down and drink this goon bag of a movie. You're like, what is this shit?
This is the goon bag of Lynch films.
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely is.
Actually, it kind of is like the goon bag version of Mulholland Drive. It's very similar.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll drink some goon. Why not?
I don't mind some goon.
It's fun. It's cheap. It's funky. You know.
I think for the American audience, a goon bag is like it's cheap boxed wine.
Boxed wine, cheapo wine.
Cheapo wine that you see people drinking on the side of the street. That's just what they do. That's just what you do. Anyway, the cast of this movie is fucking massive, so I'm just going to go through all of them. The main character, Donnie Darko, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. This was his second breakout movie. His first was October Sky, more of a drama, and then this one, more of a teen hit. So he kind of got both the mainstream young audience and also he's a very good actor, cast him in the acting movies. So he got them both.
Unlike the regular non-acting movies.
No! Well, and he's continued to do that. He's in great acting movies like Nightcrawler, and then he's also in Spider-Man and the new Michael Bay movie, where you don't really need to act, but you also need to be good in them. And the new Michael Bay movie, he's really good in it. It's actually a good film. I was surprised.
What about Spider-Man?
Spider-Man's great. He's good in Spider-Man. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't say he was good in that one.
No, I think everyone's really good in Spider-Man. You just don't really need to act. You just got to be fun.
That's fair. I mean, it is Marvel.
Oh no, I'm Tom Holland. Well, granted, Tom Holland has to put on an accent.
Yeah.
So he is kind of acting.
I think Tom Holland, he's a good boy. He's a good lad.
I think Jake Gyllenhaal's really good in this, but he does this one smile
that
looks odd. I don't know.
It is cringe. He does the like Joker smile.
Yeah.
He does the like, oh, I'm crazy smile that people think is what crazy people do. It is pretty cringe.
No, he's really good in this. I think he's good and obviously deserves all the amazing movies he got afterwards. Playing his sister, Elizabeth Darko, is his real-life sister, Maggie Gyllenhaal, who's also from The Dark Knight. She's Martha, and she's in other good movies like Adaptation with Nicolas Cage. It's very fucking good. She is barely in this movie and should be in it more.
Yeah.
But I think she's good in the scene she's in.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I recognize this. This is fun.
Well, they've got a real brother-sister dynamic going on.
Yeah, this feels very natural. This feels like it could be the real in real life.
Well, it bloody was, mate. I'll bloody break it to you. Fucking this movie's deep, actually.
Wow, this movie's so deep.
You see, they were method acting because they're actually siblings.
They've been method acting their whole lives for this. Yeah. Wow, we're reaching the bottom of the goon bag here.
You've also got playing the younger sister, Samantha Darko, who may be the main character in a certain sequel we won't talk about until the end of the movie, but maybe we'll review it on Patreon because I kind of want to fucking see it because it looks like a bloody disaster, mate. DeVay Chase plays Samantha Darko. She is the voice actor for Lilo in Lilo and Stitch.
What?
Yeah.
No way. I love Lilo and Stitch. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
She's also the creepy well girl who comes out of the TV in the American version of The Ring.
Wow, she has a lot of, like, that is a spectrum going from Lilo and Stitch to the fucking Ring.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
That's a fucking range and a half.
That's pretty good.
That's like voice acting for a kid's Disney film to acting as a horror that's crazy. Good on her.
You also got Mary McDonnell as the mum. She's the president in Battlestar Galactica. She's great in that. And she's here too. Gina Malone is Gretchen, the love interest. She's in the Hunger Games. I think she's in 2 to 4 of the Hunger Games. She's also in a great art film called The Neon Demon, which is where I know her from.
Ooh, that does sound pretty cool.
It's pretty good. It's all about the fashion.
Ooh.
Frank Duvall is Frank the Rabbit. No, his name's James Duvall, but he plays Frank the Rabbit. Anyway, he hasn't done much. He's done like some teenage movies.
He was good. He's a very spooky rabbit.
Patrick Swayze is Jim Cunningham, the self-help guy. He was in Dirty Dancing. He's in Ghost. We saw him last year in Steel Dawn. Do you remember Steel Dawn? I barely remember it.
I remember a lot of Steel Dawn that I wish I didn't. By that, I mean, not that it's bad, it's just that it's using space in my brain currently. And the fact that you brought it up and now I'm remembering it, I'm like,
gonna stay there.
This is in my head now.
Yeah, that's right. I think he is fantastic in this movie. I fucking love the self-help VHS tapes they watch in class. He is so funny.
It is very funny.
Drew Barrymore, briefly in this as the teacher Karen. She's also the producer of her production company helped make this movie a thing, because it is technically an independent movie, and it got made because of her production company. So she's good. Obviously, we love her on the show. We've done stuff. We've reviewed movies of her when she was a kid.
It's funny because of what happens in the film that she was actually like, she was like also funding the whole thing, like, you know, not that, but, you know, like help making the thing, but also her character is like kind of screwed over.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
And the last big cast member to talk about would be another teacher. Kitty is played by Beth Grant, who's in Speed and No Country for Old Men. She's a very popular character actor who plays a teacher that you just love to hate. She's so annoying, but great.
She's great. Oh, no, she's great. She is, mwah.
We all know a person like her, and just, oh boy.
She is the Umbridge of this movie.
And then we got a bunch of small actors showing up, doing small roles. Like Jerry Traynor from iCarly plays Lanky Kid. I don't know why I brought that one up. That one's not...
I love iCarly. No, that's great.
One of the big surprises for me is this is the film debut of Seth Rogen. He plays one of the bullies.
Oh!
Yeah, his first ever line of dialogue on film is, "I like your boobs." It's the first thing he ever said in a movie.
Good on you, Seth Rogen. And he's lived by that for the rest of his career.
Franz Kans plays the guy who's dressed up as a clown at the end.
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah, he's in Cabin in the Woods, but he also directed a drama recently called Mass, which is fantastic.
There you go. Yeah, he has like 2 seconds on screen as well, so that's very funny.
And then one that I bet you probably picked up on is Ashley Tisdale as one of the young girls during the self-help section of the movie. It's Sharpay from high school as like a 12-year-old.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's very funny.
What the were so many small actors who was just like...
You're saying they're all in this together? Because we know who we are.
Zach, you need to bloody get your head in the game and pop to the top, mate.
Oh!
So from the critics, this is 87% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's pretty high.
80% audience score.
That's also pretty high.
8 out of 10, 4 out of 5. Everywhere.
Yeah.
Does it deserve to be that high?
Well, according to one person, no.
Me. That's me.
But, I wouldn't say that high, but, like, I'd give this, like, I don't know, 7.5. Like,
okay.
I'd put it up there. You know, it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah.
People seem to enjoy it, and good on them. They're allowed to enjoy it. And, I mean, everybody seems to agree. Even the critics and the audience seem to agree. It's around an 80%. Like, every single person who has watched this has been like, you know what? This is pretty good.
Well, just like Donnie Darko in his small conservative town, I'm being the counterpoint. I'm just different, mate.
You're different. You're cool. You're the main character of this story.
That's right. And I'm like, it's more of like a 60%.
Ooh, savage. Absolute savage.
And it also cost $4.5 million. It's cheap.
4.5. Wow, yeah, that's really cheap.
It is quite cheap. What do you think it made in the box office?
I'm going to say, I'm going to go high.
Yep.
I'm going to guess 80.
80 million for Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
This made $7.5 million.
7.5. Wow, that's a lot lower than I thought.
It bombed. It picked up an extra $4 million for the director's cut because that was released in theaters as well. So it's like 11 to 12 million.
Well, it's still a lot of profit though, right?
I mean, you put in advertising into that, which is the reason this movie bombed, Zach.
Oh.
Is because of the advertising.
Oh, no.
Because a big plot point of the start of the movie is a plane crashing, right?
Yeah.
Well, the time when advertising would have been on TV and before movies and around the world would have been during the month of September, just after 9/11. So they pulled advertising.
Oh, no.
For the movie.
Oh, dear. That is unfortunate.
It was barely advertised because of 9/11. But it was a huge hit on home release, obviously.
And now we're watching it today. Like, got a lot of people watching it even nowadays. Disagreeing with Sandra. It's pretty good.
A bunch of taglines. Gotta give thumb up or down. Tagline number 1, you can never go too far.
I mean, you can. You could absolutely go too far. That is a definite thing you can do.
Yep, you can do
objectively.
that. You really can.
I mean, I guess the point of this movie is that he kind of can, but it's a dumb line. Next.
Be afraid of the dark. I hate that with a fucking passion.
What? Yeah, what? What is the... What?
Because Darko...
Oh, he's Darko. Be afraid of him. Be afraid of the dark. Yeah, but that makes it sound like a horror movie.
Yeah, I know. Actually, watching the trailer for this would be really interesting to see if they do sell it as a horror movie.
Yeah,
I'll have to do that later. But yeah, that's a dumb tagline.
It's dumb. Correct.
What would you do if you knew the future?
That's a bit of line.
That one's pretty
good,
good,
we're getting somewhere. Yeah. What would you do? That is a good question.
Thumb up or thumb down for that one, mate?
Oh, thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up,
Sure.
thumbs up. How about life is one long, insane trip. Some people just have better directions.
Oh, that one was good up until it crashed on the landing. Some better directions?
He doesn't have he's making it up as he goes. Like he knows a day and that's it.
Yeah, the whole point is he doesn't have any directions and he's trying to figure that out. That's literally like the whole point of the film is he doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
The whole point of the film is it's ambiguous. Is it trying to say that everyone else has directions and he does not?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it's just dumb. Thumbs down.
Yeah, agreed. And then the final tagline is dark, darker, Darko. That's a fucking like. It's like a hair product ad.
Dark, darker, Darko. Go with Darko hair products. You won't get any darker hair than with Darko.
Because you deserve it. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's Darko.
Maybe it's darker. Hair products are dark. Some are darker, but none of them are darker.
Oh, God. I hate that, but it's so accurate as well.
Yeah, I'm going to give that one a thumbs up. That's great. Because that's very stupid. Someone was paid to come up with that.
Hello! Welcome to 100 Horrors, a comedy podcast that seeks to rank the best 100 horror films of all time, as dictated to us by a poster that one of us owns.
Every week, we bicker over another film in an attempt to give it an overall scare factor and secure its place in the 100 Horrors list.
With features such as... But at least I won't die like that. And...
What would you say to them at the funeral?
we take a light-hearted approach to horror cinema so that it can be enjoyed by even the most squeamish of listeners.
So whether you're the person who's never seen a horror film in their life, or the person who has a tattoo of Leatherface on the right arse cheek, there's something to be enjoyed in every episode of 100 Horrors!
All right, now the spoilers, all the spoilers towards, if you haven't seen it, I don't know, watch it, I guess, if you don't want to be spoiled, which, I don't think it's a great movie, but also it's probably worth watching.
If you like movies that are dumb, but also don't tell you things, so you have to come up with your own sort of plot, it's a pretty fun movie. If you like figuring things out, a little bit of puzzle, a little bit of thinker, and also a dumb teen dramas, then you probably like this.
Yeah. We'll get into some highlight moments and quotes and stuff that we've got, notes that we have written down, but a lot of the time we're like, you probably haven't seen this movie, so we're going to explain the plot. For this episode, we're kind of expecting people to have watched it, because it's a very popular movie.
We've done this before with another one. Which one was it? Memento?
Oh, that was on Patreon, but yeah.
Yeah, what are you saying? Are you saying to go and listen to my example, you'd have to subscribe to the Patreon?
You would have to. I like our Memento episode a lot.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, let's do some theories. It's time for the question. The question that people have been asking since 2003.
Uh-huh.
What do you think Donnie Darko is about, Zach?
You're going to love this theory. It was all just a dream.
Oh,
there we
fuck
go,
you.
done.
No, I can see it.
Oh, that's it.
I can see it.
Because we see him in a bed at the end, right?
Yeah.
So he just dreams the whole thing, he rolls over, and then he dies. Spoiler. That's the entire movie.
That's what you think the movie's about?
Yep, that's the whole movie.
Okay. What? Why? What?
Okay, I have other real theories.
I mean, it's a pretty good theory. It's like a shrug theory that I would give.
Yeah, no. That's literally you could explain any movie if you just go, it's a dream.
It's a dream.
This is just a story made up by a guy who directed a film.
Whoa!
Boom.
Oh
theory,
my god.
done.
That's a pretty deep theory.
That's a pretty deep theory. Yeah, no. But you have lots of theories. One is the time travel theory.
Time travel.
Where you take what's kind of happening more literally, I guess.
Yeah.
Where something's gone weird with all timey-wimey. So he gets a visit by a time echo.
A time echo of Frank, yeah.
Yes, a time echo of Frank. Because if you time travel, it sort of breaks down your reality. They do explain that in the film. They're like, hey, if you do all this shit, that reality's just gonna go fucking down the drain.
Yeah,
It's gonna fuck everything up. Frank pops up to him, explains what's going to happen in the future, and he's like, oh shit. And of course, Donnie Darko being confronted by this guy, he starts seeing breaks in the time continuum, as it were.
Yep.
The problem with this theory specifically is that no one else sees anything. It's just Darko.
Yeah. Well, I guess Frank would see it.
Oh, yeah, Frank sees it, obviously.
Because he's shot at the end, and then I guess would travel back in time if you're doing...
Yeah. Frank obviously sees it as well.
Yeah.
But, it's more like, why does no one else notice these time continuancy weirdness? I mean, maybe the old lady.
Old lady, well, she wrote the book that explains the whole plot.
And of course, he starts seeing weird things like people's, like, time projection, where it's like where they are intended to go.
Yes.
Or intending.
Yes.
Which brings up the whole, like, free will sort of thing. Do we have free will, or is everything preordained?
Yep, that's a part of this movie as well, yeah.
Could possibly, for that theory, be that because Frank essentially changes the timeline by saving him at the start of the film, Darko's not meant to be alive, so his time projection's not meant to be there. And that's why he keeps seeing all the weird time differences, is because he is one of those time differences.
That would make sense. If it is, like a time travel thing,
yeah,
it was meant. But then why does... Because if Darko shoots Frank in the timeline that's not meant to happen... And then Frank goes back in time to stop that from happening so that Darko dies to fix the timeline. That's just a grandfather paradox.
Yes.
You know? Like, then who shoots Frank to make him go fix the timeline? If he's fixed the timeline by having Darko killed.
Well, you could go back to the old grandfather paradox, where the grandfather paradox starts out by one timeline having a Frank get shot, right?
Yeah.
And then it starts a loop.
The loop theory is a popular one that I've seen pop up around this movie, yeah.
Yeah, because the whole movie is a loop. That's the whole time theory, is that it starts with the ending of the movie, so it's one big loop, and it just keeps happening over and over and over.
Yeah, I've seen that one pop up a few times, and I can see it.
But yes, it is the classic grandfather paradox. Is like the chicken on the egg. Did the Franco or the shot in the Franco?
Who did it? Who shot the thing? But the ending of the movie is interesting because it's like Gretchen being like, I think I know that mum from somewhere, but obviously she doesn't because time has been reset because of the whole thingo. So she never actually met Darko because he's dead before they could meet. But she's got deja vu. What does that fucking mean? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. But also, for the sake of making theories, I don't know, maybe that would lean into the time loop thing.
Every time you have deja vu, it's because the timeline has been reset, because
that's a good idea.
This all happened.
See, that's a good idea. There's a bunch of really cool ideas in this movie.
Yeah.
That would be a great film about deja vu. It's like, well, every time you got deja vu, it's because the timeline reset. Like, they just make a movie about that. That would be cool. But this movie packs in so many ideas that it just kind of becomes a mess of, like, different theories and stuff.
Yeah. Which is it kind of like that by design, but you're not a fan of it. You would like it to be a bit more cleaner, a bit more...
Yeah. Just do two ideas and do them well, rather than bring up a bunch of ideas and not address any of them.
You could do multiple ideas, it's just do them well, you're saying. It was a little messy. I have one final theory, because you'll like this one. He's just fucking crazy, dude.
What?
Yeah, he's a fucking whack job.
It's the Joker theory.
Yeah, it's the Joker theory. He's just fucking crazy. He's just fucking seeing this dead rabbit guy. Like, what the fuck?
That's a pretty good theory. Pretty solid theory.
He just imagines this whole scenario that's happening.
It doesn't explain the ending, but it is a good theory. Like, if the ending didn't happen, I think it's good.
Oh, no, the ending just happens. It just randomly happens to happen.
What would make that theory work is, like, he's just having a mental break, and then at the very end of the movie, I don't know, he's like, to save the world, I've got to drive my car into the lake, because there's something about time travel is water and steel or whatever. You combine them and you time travel. It's in, like, one of the excerpts of the books. Time travel is water and steel or whatever. So it's like, I've got to drive my car into a lake, and then he dies. and then he has the fever dream that he saved the world or something because of his death. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I would say the beginning of this film is just a fever dream that he has because of not taking his meds.
True, he does say that constantly throughout the movie.
And it just so happens that he also dies in the way he predicts it.
My theory... Well, there's the popular theory. The popular theory that I've seen is...
You are a populist scum.
I am a populist man. I like the populist, yes. Popular theory is quite popular.
Yeah.
It's the theory that, like, because there's... In the director's cut that we saw, there's, like, the excerpts of the book that Grandma Death wrote, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff in there about, like, alternate realities. So something happened where we've got, like, this bubble universe that's kind of popped into existence because Darko hasn't died.
Yeah.
It's this, like, bubble universe where the whole world's gonna fucking end or something, I don't know. There could be something in the movie to suggest that, yeah, if one universe is destroyed, it causes a domino effect. But I don't think they ever mention that.
Oh, I don't think the entire universe is going to be destroyed. I just think that little bubble universe where Darko lives is going to de-exist.
So then does that mean that the whole movie doesn't matter? Because...
Yes. Oh, absolutely. What? You've seen the ending.
No, but, like, that idea then means... Although, no, because he causes the jet engine to be destroyed because he's got telekinesis powers and he rips the engine. That's a part of the movie.
Yeah, he doesn't do that. The timeline ripping itself apart does that.
No. The movie earlier said that there's the guy who's going to fix the timeline or whatever is going to have super strength, which is why he puts the axe into the dog's head, and they're going to have telekinesis powers. And that's how the engine got ripped off the plane.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It just goes into a storm, and then the storm rips it out, and it's taken there. What?
This is in the movie. This is in the film.
I thought it was just timeline bullshittery that put that there.
I mean, it is that, but then the director's also like, I gotta cover my bases with dumb sci-fi bullshit.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's a theory in the film. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
okay, alright. You know what? That's a good theory. I like it.
He's fucking timeline Jesus. He's gotta kill himself to save everyone.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's crazy. No, my thing was that the timeline one, the timey-wimey one, is the one that I subscribe to. Which could go into the alternate universe one. They kind of mix together where, like, because the timeline's been broken, it makes this alternative branch that can't exist. And so it will collapse on itself.
Yeah.
In whatever, like, a month or whatever it says, you know.
Yeah, at the end of October. On Halloween! Ooh!
Yeah. And that collapse causes the storm, which causes the plane to crash, the engine to be ripped off, which causes the start of the timeline. And it starts this loop.
No, that works. That does work.
But there's a lot of grandfather paradox there, because not only do you have the Franco grandfather paradox, you also have the engine paradox there.
Yeah, because it's like... Because something needs to cause the engine to fall into the vortex.
Yeah. Is it his psychic powers, Sergio? Because that was your theory, wasn't it?
Well, that is in the movie. That's in the director's cut where they're like, the person who's going to fix the time thing is going to have powers.
I think his powers are the fact that he sees the future and can see people's images. That's his psychic powers. His super strength thing might be throwing the accent. I just thought the, like, timeline had weakened the material. So he was able to...
That doesn't make it a time loop, because it can only happen once, because the plane can only... Because as soon as the plane engine falls into the vortex and kills Darko...
No, that's the ending. That's the ending of the loop. The loop is that he gets saved by Frank.
Yeah, but if he doesn't cause the engine to fall into it, then it just would have happened anyway. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
No, well, my psychic theory is, like, in order to save all the universes, he has to sacrifice himself by doing dumb power bullshittery to make an engine fall into a vortex.
No, I think the way he sacrifices himself is that he stays in his bedroom and doesn't leave. Because he knows it's going to happen, right? So he chooses to stay in his room so he like, closes the timeline.
Oh, yeah, because the scene where he does die in his room, he's laughing, so he knows what's going on. He's like, haha, I saved the world, I'm fucking time Jesus, and then he dies.
Yeah, exactly. If he doesn't stay there, the loop just continues over and over again. Because he goes out, gets saved by Frank, does the movie, so what I'm saying is, the ending of the movie is the closing of the timeline, right?
Yeah.
If you replace the ending of the movie with the start of the movie, it would just keep going.
It would
right?
keep going. Yeah, no, exactly. No, that all checks out. It's just something, I don't know. The whole power thing, I think the reason why I grasped onto that was because there is that clip in the film where it's like, yeah, the person to fix it will have great strength and this and that and all that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, fucking whatever, he's a superhero.
Yeah, that was weird. That does mess with my theory a little bit.
Yeah, but also it's really dumb.
Yeah.
That because if he's gonna have mind powers to rip an engine off, show him doing the fucking Professor X thing, you know, he's got his finger to his head.
That would make it way more stupid.
This movie's already stupid, so just go full ham.
Yeah. But I would have hated that.
So here's my other thing, right? So he shoots Frank. How does Frank then keep popping up? How? What powers does Frank... He's just a regular guy in a rabbit costume who gets shot in the eye. How does he go back in time?
That's a problem with your theory, not mine.
Yeah, he's a time glitch, but why him as well? Well, because he's got the rabbit outfit, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, because
that's
it's cool.
Probably why.
No, because he meets, like, it just so happens to be a character he meets at the end of the time loop.
Yeah.
Which is like, so and he shoots him with a gun he's holding, so perhaps it's like he is the most connected.
Yeah, he's tied the most to Darko and the end of the world, so...
At the end of the world there, like, yeah.
Maybe. There's some weird... So this movie is very... It's not anti-religion, but the movie, it's making a big point, and it's some of the best stuff in the movie is that it's like being the counterpoint to a small conservative town. It's like, well, this guy, he's saying it like it is. He's like that Jim Cunningham man, or he just wants your bloody money and other things that we'll get to later. So he's kind of like rebelling against the system, but also it does briefly bring it up when he sees the Destiny CGI things coming out of people's chests.
Oh yeah.
We never see anyone not follow those Destiny things either, which could have been a really interesting idea if what causes the end of the world is Darko was like, I see my Destiny wants me to go that way, but I'm going to go this way. And then he makes that choice, and then the world is like, well, now I'm going to end because you just broke Destiny.
Yeah.
Again, it's like a cool idea and a cool visual that they bring up and then don't really do anything with. It's just there to bring up the theory, the scientific theory of this topic, but now we're not going to do anything with it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. It's part of his, like, powers, I guess. And, that would be interesting. The whole, like, he could have tried to stop someone moving in a direction. Like, he sees their thing and goes, hey, and, like, grabs them and stops them.
That would have been a cool scene, definitely. I think that would have been good. Even if it's just something like, oh, my dad's going to get up and turn off the TV. I'm going to stop him from turning off the TV.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, there's like an ad for rabbits on the TV or something.
No. And then the TV turns off by itself.
Oh, by itself. That would be cool. That's a cool idea. That's a cool, again, another cool movie idea. We've got the Deja Vu movie idea. Another cool movie idea is although that is kind of just the butterfly effect. But, you know, it's like breaking your destiny. But yeah, no, it's weird how he's like... But if there's no free will, higher being God.
Yeah,
and then the teacher's like, I could lose my job for talking about this, so fuck off, kid.
Yeah, I don't know why he said that. I guess the school must be like a religious, like, it's
I think it is, yeah.
Town religious school, yeah. It's just not brought up so much. I like when it's brought up that he's not an atheist.
Oh, he's agnostic, yeah.
Yeah, he's agnostic. I think that's very good. I liked that.
That was a cool moment.
Yeah. So, not saying it's anti-religious, it's just like not perhaps agreeing with everything there.
Yeah, it's like the movie wants to be scientific, but also wants to be like, but maybe there's a higher power, who fucking knows? And then
yeah, exactly.
the movie doesn't answer any of those questions, which fair enough. But I do think for me, I don't know about you, but for me, the best moments of the movie are where Darko is rebelling against people in the school.
Oh, yeah.
I think the best scene is where the teacher is like, all right, you've got a bunch of scenarios on those cards. You're going to read them out, and then you're going to put them on this line here. It's either going to be fear or love. Where does that scenario fall between fear and love? And then Darko's like, fuck you. You're dumb.
Yeah, this is stupid.
No, the world isn't black and white.
He's like, this is all very stupid. This is very dumb. And she's like, well, you're going to get a fucking F, son. And he's like, yeah, well, how about this? F you fucking bitch.
He tells her to forcibly insert the scenario card into her anus.
Yes. Direct quote.
But another thing, I don't know if you picked up on this, but I'm being a big brain, I'm on the movie's wavelength.
Oh, you got a huge brain?
The scenario card he got was, you find someone's wallet with money in it. Do you return it to the police with the money or without the money, or something like that? It's like you have the wallet, you keep the money, but then you return the wallet. Later in the movie, he picks up the wallet of Patrick Swayze, which gives him the address of Patrick Swayze to burn down Patrick Swayze's house, which is a bad thing. But turns out Patrick Swayze, big pedophile man.
Yes.
So good thing, actually.
Yes. I love that. I love that he just burned down this pedophile's house. And it's very funny with the lady who was, like, in love with him. Like, she's either has to double down on her love or admit she's been fawning after this pedophile.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Which is not great.
Which is interesting. But also, another interesting theory is because time's reset, the pedophile, he's still at large.
Yeah.
Maybe not good things come out of reset. Maybe some bad things come from reset too.
Oh, absolutely.
Makes you think. Big brain movie, actually. Kinda. Not really.
You could... You could say you really hate trying to call this one. You really hate admitting that this movie is a cinematic masterpiece, Sandro.
I mean, no. Okay, so what annoys me about this movie is people think it's deep. I don't think it's deep. I just think it's fun to talk about in like a science fiction sort of way.
Yeah.
It's like, that's kind of clever writing. But it's not a deep movie in that it's not like all the big themes and thematics and ideas and stuff.
It itself almost isn't inherently deep. It just brings up concepts that you can think deeper about.
Yeah, it's like a conversation. It's like a book you'd read in school to start a conversation. Oh, wait a second. That's a plot in the movie.
It's more like it's a dark movie.
Oh, I hate that.
A Donnie Dark movie.
A Donnie Dark movie. Yeah, what did you think of the moments in the movie where the movie stopped so they could have discussions about books?
I thought that was fine. Look, they just wanted to spout a bit about books and stuff. Like, because he's meant to be a writer, right? Like, that's what he wants to be when he grows up.
Yeah.
And writing is a big, like, the story is a big part of this film, so it brings up... Although, I don't like how he shit on Watership Down, because that was a great book. I love that
It's a good book.
And he's like,
Yeah, it's a good
why
book.
do we give a shit about these fucking rabbits? Which is quite funny, because obviously his friend is... His imaginary friend, quotation marks, is a guy in a giant rabbit costume, so it's rather funny. But then, like, his girlfriend's like, no, we should care about the rabbits because we are applying human aspects to them. We are making them human, and the author wants us to care about them, so we should care about them. And he's like, I don't give a shit. Fuck you. I think the director read Watership Down as a kid, and he's like, I fucking hate this shit. And he just wanted to spout that in the movie.
Oh, there's parallels between Watership Down and this movie, though, because
Yeah.
the rabbit in that sees visions of death and destruction.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, it's a little bit of a fun gag.
The first book that they read, I forget what the name of it is, but the first book that they read I thought was really interesting because it's all about how these kids, they burn down a house, but not because of any inherently malicious reasons, but because of destruction and creation are the same thing and all that. It's all a metaphor.
Yeah.
But I like how the movie is like, yeah, these people are doing bad things, and then they're the main characters. But it's all ironic and metaphorical, and then we've got Donnie Darko going around and doing bad things.
And then Donnie Darko glocks a guy in the face for running over his girlfriend.
What's some other plot points that they bring up? Oh, one plot point they bring up that they don't address is there's this one girl in school who's been bullied.
Oh, yeah.
She's listening in on all of Donnie's conversations when he's at school and has an entire book dedicated to him. What's your theory with that?
Oh, she's got a crush on him.
Yeah, okay. So we are the same. I saw some theories of, like, she's also a part of the time loop and is doing research, and I'm like, no.
That's dumb. No, she's just a teenager with a crush on him because he's a hottie, he's a looker, and he's kind of like the most popular kid in school as well. I mean, he's definitely popular. He, like, hangs out with the cool kids, you know, they're smoking and whatever. Like, he always speaks up in class and gets in trouble, so everyone's kind of on his side. Like, he is very popular at school. So I think she just has a crush on him. And it's funny when he, like, grabs her face and is like, it gets better for you in the future. Like, he's seen it. So he tells her, and she's like, holy shit, get the fuck away from me.
The correct reaction.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal comes up and just grabs your face and yells at you.
And then he steals her earmuffs, which is a bit fucking rude.
But yeah, I've seen some fan... Because, like, my thing, I finished watching the movie and I was like, I'm going to go and watch a bunch of video essays to see what other people think this movie's
Sandra,
about.
Why would you do that?
No, because people love this movie, and I don't get it. I don't get why people love this movie to the degree that they do. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go watch some video essays, and one of the theories was, yeah, she's also in on the time loop and is doing research and making everything goes correctly. And I'm like, this is fucking dumb. Never mind. Why did I look up video essays?
Yeah. Well, it's just like, because this is more of a mainstream movie, it's people who don't usually watch the big brain movies, watching a big brain movie and going, whoa, this is concepts that I never thought about. So it's like baby's first big brain movie. So that's why people like it so much.
And I think that's a really, like, that's the great thing about this movie is that it did make mainstream audiences want to make things like video essays, because now we get that for fucking everything. Sure, not everything needs one, but
we get one for everything though.
And people are constantly thinking, like, analytically, and they're delving deep into the lore of movies, and I think that's fucking great.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome, and it means that we do get smarter movies because of that.
Which, God help us, we need.
We need smart films sometimes, actually.
Yes.
We really need one.
Good lord. I think this movie's a little smarter than you're giving it credit for. You're taking a big deuce in the time vortex in the theater, you know, filling the timeline with poopy. But no, I think it definitely had, like, the movie script works by itself. It's just a little messy.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's got all this time theory stuff. I like the discussions that he does have with his teacher. We learn about this, like, whole time rift sort of thing. And potential time travel that could happen.
Like the DeLorean.
Yeah. Still don't know what that old lady was about.
Grandma Death. Yeah, because she writes a book that explains one of the main theories of the movie. So she's clearly got some knowledge about what's going on.
But there's not much that actually happens with her.
No.
They just bump into her a couple of times, and he tries to talk with her and then doesn't.
Oh, what did you think of the moment where something happens and he's like, hey, that's a Deus Ex Machina. What did you think of that moment?
I hated that. Well, yeah.
Okay.
That's dumb. That was very unexpected for me, and I'm like, that was groan-worthy.
Because what is it? It's like Seth Rogen and the other bully are choking Gretchen.
Yeah.
But then a random car comes up and they think it's the cops, so they run.
Yeah.
And then Donnie's like, yeah, Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah. It's very, very stupid, because it's like, it's breaking the fourth wall, but it's also like doing it in the dumbest way. Like, it's like baby's first breaking the fourth wall.
Well, I mean, the movie, it does feel like it was made by a film student. In many ways, it feels like a student film that was also backed by Drew Barrymore's production company, so it's got good budget.
Yeah. Well, it is his first big foray into films, so it's definitely a little rusty, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
There's the school talent show, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Because we get Sparkle Motion.
Sparkle Motion.
Which has the main character's little sister and a few other girls doing a dance. And, you know, they're doing this big, like, production dance thing. And then they're so good, they get, like, recruited by, like, a talent agency to go overseas. And so they have to fly, which is why the mother takes the child and they go on a flight, which causes the flight, which has the engine, which causes whole fucking film. Because at the start of the film, spoiler, he nearly gets crushed by a giant engine falling into their house.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the film, he does get crushed by a falling engine into their house, presumably on that day.
There's a point in the movie where they go and they watch Evil Dead, and then they're the only people in there, and Gretchen falls asleep. I've got a lot of problems with this scene.
Okay.
Problem number one, it's Halloween night. You're going to a theater to watch Evil Dead and no one's there? That's like the number one, like, cult movie of all time. People would be there.
First off, this is 2001, so maybe people didn't know it was a cult classic.
All three films were out at that point.
Two, it's an old, shitty theater in the middle of a religious, shitty old town. Perhaps no one gave a shit about it. Three, if it is a Halloween adjacent, maybe people are too busy going to Halloween. Four, maybe this film was like the last week of its running, so everyone else had already seen it by this
they've been
point.
showing it for it wasn't like a one night only sort of thing. That could be it. But my other point, secondly, is Gretchen falls asleep while watching that movie. We've watched that movie. We've reviewed it on Patreon. I've seen it many times. That movie is fucking loud. That is a loud film. You cannot fall asleep during it. It would wake you up.
What if, fan theory, Darko drugged her?
Fuck you, Darko. God damn it. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbloody believable.
No. Just being exhausted, man. Like, fuck.
I just thought that was a dumb moment. I was like, this is very silly.
Oh, it's funny that he goes out, burns a pedophile's place down, and then comes back, and now has this, like, alibi that he was at the theater the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, that was very stupid. There's a lot of stupid moments like that throughout this film that's just, it's very coincidental and convenient, just, like, throughout the film.
Yes.
But I thought that was kind of funny. You know, this film is very silly in that aspect.
And there's some other silly moments, like the script and the quotes that I've got.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of fun things.
There's a lot of fun quotes and also really dumb quotes and cringy, I'm trying to write dialogue for teenagers but don't understand how teenage work sort of quotes.
Oh, yeah.
One of these is where Donnie Darko, he's like, "Hey, Maggie Gyllenhaal, you're such a fuck ass." And she's like, "Did you just call me a fuck ass? You can go suck a fuck." And he's like, "Tell me exactly, sister, how does one suck a fuck?"
No, that was pretty great. I think that's how teenagers talk.
They know.
I've totally had a conversation where someone said something stupid, and it's halted the conversation where we go, "What the fuck did you just say? That's dumb. How would one do this?"
I mean, true, but I don't, like, no teenage would be like, "You're such a fuck ass."
Yeah.
Maybe the little girl would say that because she
Yes.
doesn't understand. She's heard the words and she's just putting them together. But Darko wouldn't say. I
The
don't.
question is, how do you suck a fuck?
I don't know. You go in a room after people have been fucking and then you breathe in the air.
Oh, don't like that.
That's how you do
I
it.
hate that.
How about when he calls his mum a bitch and then the mum goes to the dad and says, "Oh, our son just called me a bitch." "You're not a bitch. You're bitching, but you're not a bitch." Fuck. This movie's script is so dumb.
Yeah, look, the lines are very dumb, but it's very funny.
It's funny, but it's also like, cringy funny. Oh, wait. No, I forgot to bring something up. It was very funny when one of the students snorted coke by the lockers. Anyway, that's not the point.
Yeah.
The eyeball shit. He's got like a computer eyeball. all like the close-ups on his eye, and then we see like the computer scroll thing on one side.
Oh, right, yeah, Darko, yeah.
At first I was like, are they trying to be like he's in a simulation? Is that what this is about?
Oh, yeah.
But no, they don't really explain any of that because it ends with like time rewinding and we see it through that sequence with like the eyeball and like the way that the eyeball's projected.
Well, perhaps that is the simulation resetting.
Maybe.
And this is in fact a simulation. A simulation where they've taken one random NPC and are just running loops to see what happens, sort of thing.
Ooh, maybe.
And Frank is just a literal, like, player character where someone's gone into the simulation and they, like, mess with it, and Frank is the object in which they are messing with him.
Perhaps.
This being a simulation could work as a theory, because,
I quite like that idea. That it's a simulation. And yeah, like you're right, like someone's playing God and being like, what if I change this? Let's see what happens.
The God figure in this scenario is the person running the simulation.
Yeah.
And Darko thinks he's fucking insane because the guy is singularly messing with him and no one else. So Darko is actually quite sane, but because of this person messing with him, he's just going crazy. Like, maybe in his early life, the guy in the simulation was teleporting Darko outside.
This entire movie is just someone playing The Sims.
Yeah, that's it.
I like that idea. That's a fun idea, and I think it kind of works.
He goes over to this plane, he clicks, copy-pastes the engine, goes over to his house, click, crash, falls into his house. It's like... And they're like, where the fuck did this come from, you know?
It's a fun theory, but just to break it a little bit, this is my counterpoint theory to your good theory.
Yep.
The writer, he watched The Matrix and thought, that's a cool idea, I'll put some of that in my movie, and then never explain it.
Well, that only happens when Darko peers into the time vortex. That's when we see the...
Yeah, it's like whenever he sees Frank, I guess. Or just before he sees Frank, I think it pops up sometimes too.
Yeah, I think it's when he's witnessing some of the time dilation.
Yeah.
He's able to see into the future, like, mathematical equations, like, all this bullshit. It's just like him viewing space-time. Or, perhaps, a deeper look into the simulation.
Ooh.
The behind-the-scenes.
More fun moments, more quotes and stuff. I don't have too many.
Yeah, I've got one quote, but I'm saving it for the end as my favorite quote.
Okay. Seth Rogen being like, I like your boobs, is cringy. Oh, the fucking Smurfette conversation. I hated that. That was dumb.
That was so funny.
So dumb.
That was great. This film is dumb, but it's fun dumb, I feel. It's got a lot of fun dumb moments in this. The weird thing is, this film is such a smart film. The fact that it has all this dumb dialogue is really jarring. I think that's what doesn't jive with you so much, is it has this combination between really smart theory crafting stuff and really dumb lines and dumb conversations, which are, to me, are very funny.
I don't know. I don't think the movie's that smart to begin with.
Yeah,
but
that's why you hate it.
But there is some really, some funny, dumb quotes. But that Smurfette conversation, it reminded me of, like, all the film bros on a podcast and we're talking about, hey, Smurfette, we'll talk about her. And then they're having the conversation.
We are those film bros, though, you know.
It reminded me of more annoying film bros.
Yeah.
Although, I did like how it eventually devolved into him being like, but why would you want to be a Smurf? Smurfs don't have dicks. What's the point of living if you don't have a dick? And I was like, he's just a horny teenager.
Yeah. But also, it does bring up a point, is what is the meaning of life? But is it to just reproduce?
Like rabbits.
It all comes around. Oh my god, this film is so smart, Sandro. How could you think it's dumb? I like how he was just like a big Smurfs fan, and it was like, hey, you fucking idiot, Smurfette was made by Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
But also the Smurfs could be a good allegory for this film, because Darko could be the Smurfette, you know, just made by... or Frank, I guess, would be the Smurfette.
Yeah.
Just to, like, come in and fuck with the simulation. Gilgamesh being this god figure, right?
I did really enjoy, the scene where Patrick Swayze comes to do lesson, I guess, with the school, and we got that kid who's like, how do I learn how to fight? And he's like, you don't want to learn how to fight, fighting's fear or whatever. And then Darko gets up and is like, no, just fucking go to like a martial arts lesson, you dum-dum. Also, Patrick Swayze, you're the Antichrist.
Yeah, I think you're the Antichrist. Yeah, no. I think he's just saying that to be problematic there. Like, he's deliberately saying things that will cause problems. Like, oh yeah, I think you're the fucking Antichrist. Like, holy shit, you're dumb. All your solutions are stupid.
Why are you wearing that stupid bunny suit? Why are you wearing that stupid man suit?
Oh, that was dumb.
That was really dumb.
That is just genuinely dumb, because it's like, oh, that's so deep, you know? Why am I wearing this man suit? No, he's not wearing it. It's just his body. He doesn't have a choice in the matter.
I hated how when Drew Barrymore's fired, she's got the words cellar door written on the blackboard.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, it's the most beautiful combination of words, whatever, according to this writer. That then causes Donnie Darko, when he goes over to Grandma Death's house, to enter the house through the cellar door, because he's like, cellar door. I was like, I don't know. Again,
yeah.
If this movie was more about how you write a movie, maybe that would work. Same with the Deus Ex Machina. If it was like more about coincidences and like...
Yeah, poking more fun at like the whole like movie tropes and other things like that. Yeah, I could see that.
I think that would be funny.
Yeah, I think that's also something an English teacher would do to leave their students with, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that bit I understand. Yeah, the bit where he bumps into a cellar door and is like, cellar door. That was just one of the many, like, silly, stupid moments in this film.
No, I think it was that was a moment that the movie thought was smart, I think.
I don't think the movie thought it was smart. Well, that's the thing. I guess it's perspectives. I think this film was quite funny.
Yeah.
I laughed at this film because it was very dumb in moments that were funny like that. I think it's just like, yeah, it's trying to be smart there, but it's in a dumb way and a sort of amusing way where it's like, oh, he finds us... Like, it makes sense that if they set up the cellar door thing, that it's got to pay off at some point, that he will bump into a cellar door, right? But yeah, bit silly.
And the one moment where I was like, this guy is just a big fan of David Lynch and wants to make his own David Lynch movie, is when Donnie tries to kiss Gretchen in the woods, and she's like, no, there's that fat man over there looking at us. And then we pan over, and there's like some fat guy in like a red suit being like, and then later on Halloween night, someone's like, oh, it's Halloween night. Everyone's dressed up. We cut to all the trick-or-treaters, and he's just there in the same suit, walking around, staring at the camera. I'm like, that's just a David Lynch moment.
Yeah.
That's just like a creepy background character that Lynch would put in because it looks cool.
Yeah. And why not? Why not copy Lynch? I think Lynch is a great inspiration, and I think that's a great idea. But it's also, that's kind of funny.
It was pretty funny. I laughed when he popped up again. I was like...
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else I want to bring up. I mean...
Oh, there's more themes about dying alone that we didn't bring up.
Oh, yeah, there's this whole thing where there's, like, everyone dies alone.
Yes.
And then he talks about his dog, how it went and, like, when it died, it hid under the porch so it could be alone.
I've heard that before. That I don't think that originated in this movie, but it might have, because I have heard a lot of people talk about that.
Like, everybody does alone. Not necessarily, though.
No, I'm sure some people died together, like the plane that crashed.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people in that plane.
Yeah, see, right there. In this movie, a lot of people died together then.
But then Darko's like, I've got to obey Frank or else I'll die alone.
But in the end, he does die alone.
Yeah, he does. True. Good point. Yeah, I don't know.
Or are we really alone at any point, really? Like,
because there's time gods.
No, not what I was going to say. No, there's a server admin who's underpaid, who's watching our simulation as we speak, and he's like, this is all fucking bullshit, you idiots.
If you can hear us, server admin, make sure that the Rockstar Games pays you better.
Yeah, wow.
And don't succumb to the crunch, Sir Bradman.
Yeah, of course it's Rockstar Games who is the simulation owner. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Good lord. Hey, if you could, like, manipulate the RNG so I could win a lottery ticket or something, that'd be great.
No, I'll just rig the RNG so you win at least one game of Hearthstone today.
Oh, I fucking doubted it this rate. I don't want to talk about that. Good lord, I've been on a losing streak there.
Well, is it time to rate the movie?
Yeah.
Are you going to give this an oldie or a goodie or a E?
I don't know what the E is supposed to be. What the fuck is that, Sandro? We have a binary system. I'll give it a goodie.
A goodie.
I'll give it a goodie. I'm not gonna steep down to your E's. Unless by steeping down to the hummies, we come into a situation where E's don't exist, and therefore we're stuck in a loop where we have to pick a binary system, otherwise we cannot continue on with the podcast.
Oh, true.
But the movie is a sort of a E, so we have to pick that one. But to break the loop, we have to go against the grain of the movie and what we actually think, and pick either an oldie or a goodie.
Or a goodie. But I think a E. If we give this movie a E, but we don't give the E to better movies that are more arty.
Movies that actually make you think, yeah. What does that mean? What does that do?
It doesn't mean anything. Fucking read it, whatever you want.
Oh, yeah. Just make up fan theories. How about you tell us in the comments down below what that would mean?
So it's a goodie from you. Look, I don't think it's bad, but I'm gonna give it an oldie. But I think it's maybe worth watching if you haven't seen it, so you can be in on the conversation.
Yeah.
Because people talk about this film a lot.
Well, your argument is there's just better movies out there that have better, like, sort of theories that make you think.
It's a gateway film for art house.
It's a gateway drug for art house.
Yeah.
Gotcha. This is the shitty weed you find outside your local library of thinking films.
Yeah. No, it's like how I Know What You Did Last Summer is like a gateway slasher movie. Because it's not gory, but it's got slasher elements that could get you hooked, go back and watch the classics. This is like a gateway art movie to make you go back and watch better smart films.
Well, that's the thing. I think the reason a lot of this is popular is because it has so much ideas put in it that aren't expanded on.
Yeah.
That you can sort of expand on any part you like about this film. Like, if you like the idea of a timey-wimey sort of, like, loop thing, you can expand on that. You could expand on alternate universes. You could expand on a weird, dumb God theory, Matrix theory.
Yes, that the movie brings up in one line of dialogue and then ignores.
Yeah. You could bring up, you could expand on anything. You could expand on the fact that this was all inside his head.
It's all a dream.
It didn't happen. You could expand on it all being a fucking dream. And if you do that, you're lame and dumb.
And you're boring if you do that, honestly.
Yeah.
When you walk through an art museum, what happens?
You see some interesting things, you see some not so interesting things, and if you're like me at all, you're probably a little bit sleepy.
Well, grab a cafecito and listen up. It's Art Slice, a palatable serving of art history.
I'm Russell Shoemaker.
I'm Stephanie Duenas. We are not your daddy's art history podcast. We are both artists, so we look at art history through that perspective. We cover the artists you know and those that have been ignored for so many different reasons.
We look at the context of the time, we compare it to today.
We don't dumb anything down, but, and this is a big but,
Heyo.
We like to have a good time, okay? Nos gusta to goof around, all right? We have hungry pantry mons that might startle you. It's a long story.
We feed them art materials. Art is just a visual language, so in order for us to interpret what we think it's saying, we hijack the work.
Right. How do you like that for an art heist?
Exactly. And ultimately, we decide if it belongs in our Art Slice Museum on top of the Art Slice hilltop.
So if this all sounds good to you, join us on Art Slice, a palatable serving of art history.
All right, an oldie and a goodie there for Donnie Darko. Now, Zach, I did mention that there is a sequel.
Yeah, you did, but you said he was making a sequel.
Well, yes, there's an actual sequel that Richard Kelly is working on. I think we got an update last year saying the script is, like, almost done.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's good.
I don't know what a sequel would look like.
Yeah,
but,
I like the idea that he's been working on it for a while, because obviously if he's done this, it was like a big thing for him, but like you could tell it's sort of like a first movie sort of thing. Like,
yeah,
it's a little bit messy, but it like has great ideas, great visuals, great fun. So, like, I'd like to see a sequel to this film.
I think it would be interesting to see a sequel. Do you bring back Jake Gyllenhaal? I don't know. Because obviously the cast of this movie got more popular, so maybe you do, but I don't know. It really
and that would be cool to see him in this again.
Yeah.
Like, 20 years later.
But then it could just be like a Matrix 4.
Yeah.
Where it's like a recap / meta commentary on it all. I don't know. Again, that could work, maybe.
Yeah, but that one would work better for this type of movie than The Matrix. Because The Matrix has, like, one theory, right?
The Matrix got one good movie.
Oof. No, but that's like one theory is The Matrix is the theory.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like, this is all time manipulation. No, it's the Matrix. We know the theory. They're in a simulation. The theory is that they're still in the Matrix, even when they leave the Matrix.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a great theory.
But yeah, that's true. In Donnie Darko, it would make more sense.
Yeah, it would make more sense, because it sort of is built to break the fourth wall, as it were, almost, but not.
But yeah, no, he's working on a proper sequel, but we did get a studio sequel in 2009 called S. Darko.
Yes.
It is a sequel all about the younger daughter, Samantha, and the actor returns. 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, all the bad reviews, everyone hates it. I'm intrigued to see how bad it is.
I also want to see what they sort of did with this, because, yeah, this seems like that is weird to go from the... I guess you can't do Donnie Darko, obviously, because he's Donnie fucking dead. Unless they want to make a movie about a man pancake, because he's fucking flat. Just fucking done.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Or you could do a film... You could do one about Frank, you know?
Go back and do Frank. Oh, it's all from Frank's perspective. It's the same
all
movie.
From Frank's perspective. Like, same movie, but Frank's perspective, where he's like... Donnie adjacent, he hears about all this stuff, but he also has, like, a time loop.
Yeah.
That's separate from Darko's.
Yeah.
So he has this whole separate loop. Maybe, like, we see, like, random things which expand on the universe. Like... He knows Donnie Darko's girlfriend's mum.
Ooh, okay.
Because that's talked about in the movie. And the dad. Because that's talked about, the girlfriend talks about her mum and dad being, like, psychos and other things.
That's another plot point that I forgot to bring up. Yeah, true. Oh, his dad also brings up that his dad was crazy too and had to take pills.
Yeah, like, maybe we could expand on that sort of thing, while also being in Frank's perspective, where he's in this loop.
Yeah.
Where he keeps getting shot. Like, it opens up with him being shot by Donnie Darko.
And he's like, I bet you're wondering how I got into this scenario. Well, my life has been quite
bang,
crazy.
And there's like a bullet there. Man, I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah, they'd probably do that.
No, that's dumb.
But it's a dumb movie.
First off, that's ripping off another film. Second off, that's an opening to a comedy film, where this is definitely not. Like, it's comedic. No, what would happen is it would be him drinking a few drinks with the boys, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets in his car and he drives over to the thing, and then he hits a girl and it's like, holy shit, what are you doing? And then he gets shot.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of the film. And then he wakes up like, I'm not going to drink anymore. I'm not going to do these things. Like, I've had a premonition. But he doesn't think he's crazy. He's, like, sane.
Yeah. But I did a little bit of Googling. The synopsis for the studio sequel, it's about, the sister, she's also sleepwalking. She's also has hallucinations.
Sure.
She goes on a road trip to a small town and uncovers mysteries about time travel and shit.
Oh, great.
It looks really bad.
I'd be interested in seeing that. Chuck it on the Patreon. Why not?
I'll put it on the list.
So we can shit on that movie.
But we do have to make up our own sequel, which is also going to be a crossover with another movie.
I just did. It's Donnie Franco.
Donnie Franco. But now we're going to make up a crossover with another movie in the bloody podcast.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to get my Franco movie.
No, we're wiping the slate clean.
No. I want to combine my Franco movie with whatever movie you come up with.
No, fine. But I'll also come up with a different idea.
Sure.
Random number generator is going to give me a number 68.
That's a great thing. With our multi-universe thing, with our time travel, with our simulation, we can combine any movie with this movie.
Oh, and we've got an absolute banger. So, episode number 68, we've got to come up with a crossover between Donnie Darko and the movie from that episode, which is Murder Rock.
Murder Rock. Oh my god, Murder Rock. Hell yeah.
That movie that gave me a headache, but I actually kind of liked it in retrospect.
Well, it was a good film. The problem was it just kept using the same soundtrack, one track over and over again.
Yeah.
Which literally just drove the audience insane because it's just use a different song. It's not like it's a bad movie. It's just really, it's irritating to watch because you get sick of a song because it's played so fucking much.
And also the ending twist was really dumb. But yeah, that's, go and listen to that episode. It's a fun episode and a fun movie, but it's an Italian horror about people who are killed at a dance class. Oh my, I've got the idea.
All right, go for it.
Mad World. The cover of Mad World in this movie that every fucking contemporary / ballet teacher has done at least 3 routines to.
Yeah.
That song plays at the start of the film. We see a dance class. It's Samantha Darko. It's the, what's the dance troupe?
It is Sparkle Motion.
Sparkle Motion. It's Sparkle Motion. They're doing a dance to the Mad World cover. All around me, from me. Right?
Yeah.
But the song is time travel.
Wow, you really nailed that landing there. Fucking hell.
Yeah, no, there's a killer at the school.
Yeah.
And the killer is dressed up as a bunny.
Yeah, it's Frank.
It's Frank. Well, no, it's not.
Nope, it's Frank.
Wait, it's Frank who wants revenge.
Yeah.
Because Frank got shot in the... No, he didn't. It's the reset timeline. So Frank has had his own visions.
Yeah.
He's seen that Donnie shot him in the eyeball and then ended the world and, killed himself to save the world and everything. But Frank's but I was meant to be the chosen one. And so, yeah. What's a sharp object? Because all Italian horrors are a sharp object.
I mean, you could just have a knife. I mean, Donnie Darko has a knife at one point, right?
Has a knife. Or an axe.
Oh, he has the axe from the bronze statue in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
We see him wrench it out of the statue.
Yeah. And then he's driven crazy by these visions and these hallucinations.
Yeah.
He's haunted by a different person in a different animal costume.
That's dumb, but that's very funny, so I'll allow it.
And he dresses up in the Frank the Rabbit, and he goes to the Sparkle Motion, and he starts killing all the teachers with the axe, and it's an Italian horror.
But he's also he's like a break dancer. He's
yeah, he also dances.
Yeah,
and we get a hip hop version of Mad World.
Yeah. I hate that.
Every song is Mad World.
Oh, because, when he dies, he was playing Mad World on the radio of the car or something. So he keeps hearing Mad World over and over again.
Yeah.
And the dance studios keep playing it because there's this dance routine that's Sparkle Motion. But he's, he lives near the studio or something, so he's always hearing it, and it just drives him insane.
Yeah.
He's just going insane.
Oh, so every time he hears the song, he goes into a murder spree.
Yeah, he goes completely insane and just starts murdering people. And the end of the film is him going insane, driving away just to get away from the song. Drives, hits a lady, hops out, gets shot.
Oh
Boom.
My god, boom! Doesn't really make any sense, to tie it into it's a sequel, but it also takes place during Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make any fucking sense, but also doesn't matter.
That's pretty great. And he could be I've got to end the loop,
Gotta end the loop.
End the loop and start a new one.
Murder Rock, Dancing Darko. There isn't really a way to make the title, because the title is the name of the character who's not in the sequel.
Oh, you could just call it Dancing Darko.
Dancing Darko, yeah.
Well, remember, the girl, right? She is a Darko. They're all, that's their last name. So it could half follow Frank and half follow her.
While she's trying to, like, survive this dangerous dance school where someone keeps murdering everyone, we've got to age them up. So they're probably, like, 16-ish now.
Yeah.
So that they can get murdered on screen.
Yeah.
Oh, because she's the final girl. All of the sparkle motion die but her. And she's the one who shoots him. Because she's the final girl. So she survives at the end.
Yeah. She could have a thing where it's like Halloween and she's got to dance up, but she's also got to take out this killer. Like, from her perspective, it's just a horror movie.
Yeah.
Where she at the end figures out who it is and has to kill him.
Yeah. And the movie ends with her doing a contemporary routine to Mad World.
Yes, of course. At the funeral for the entire dance class who died.
Interpretive sad dancing for the
exactly.
The dead members of Sparkle Motion.
Yeah, R.I.P. Very good.
That's a terrible movie.
Mwah. Beautiful ending. It's time for time reviews. This is where I go back in time and go peer into people's consciousnesses and extract reviews from them and then write them on Rotten Tomatoes for them.
Yep, okay.
I get these reviews and I tell them to Sandro and he has to guess what they've rated this movie.
Now, I already know the answers because a rabbit man told me, so I'm going to get every single one correct. That's right, I'm predicting the future.
Oh, shit. What if this is like the timeline where it all breaks down? Like, this is the end.
Doesn't matter because I still got it correct in one universe.
Ah, yeah, there is a universe probably where you got them all correct.
Mm-hmm.
And my mind will be fucking blown. You have to rate them between 0.5 and 5. That's how Rotten Reviews works. Let's go.
Yep.
Let us begin. Draven says, Donnie Darko is a movie that didn't age poorly. And this has made a star out of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
Which adds more to this gem.
Right. The movie has aged well.
No. The movie didn't age poorly.
It didn't age poorly, and an actor got great roles after the movie.
Which therefore made this movie better.
I'm not sure.
I thought you would like this one.
It's probably a 3. I feel like it's positive, but it's the bare minimum of being positive.
Well, he said, and it made the star out of Jake Gyllenhaal, which adds more to this gem.
Oh, gem. The word gem is a big one. But I will... Yeah, okay, I'll say 3.5. I'll bump it up a bit. 3.5.
Yeah. It's 4.5. It was very positive. It's a gem of a movie, Sandro. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm recording the wrong timeline.
Yeah, immediately the wrong timeline. This is the end time. You're going to get crushed by a giant fucking plane engine at the end of this review.
I will be, yeah.
You better get more of these right, otherwise you're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey says, I kept waiting for this movie to get better. And then the next thing I knew, the credits were rolling.
Oh, that's a pretty big statement right there.
Pretty savage.
I was waiting for this movie to get better, and then the credits were rolling. So you just watch the whole movie being like, get better, get better, get better.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 2 out of 5.
Oh, you're close, but it's actually 1 out of 5. They really didn't enjoy this film.
Did not enjoy it. That's a shame.
Man, you're not doing well for this whole stopping yourself getting crushed by a plane engine thing. You really got to step up your game. With Sai here, who says, this caused my friend to have an existential crisis.
Oh no! I hope your friend's okay.
Yeah.
This caused my friend to have an existential crisis. 5 out of 5 is my guess.
Yeah, it's actually 1.5.
See, if this was a letterbox review, that would be 5 out of 5. This caused my friend to have an existential crisis.
It was like, hell yeah, this made my friend go into an existential crisis. This movie's a fucking banger. Like, I feel like that's an endorsement of the film. It made him think so much, you know? But no, they were like, holy shit, my friend is just in a desperate state of this. Fuck this film. Mike says, this is my favorite Doctor Who episode.
Doctor Who is, like, better than this. Although true, there's some moments of it that do kind of feel like that. But That might be your review.
It might be.
But either way, I'm going to guess it's probably like a 4. It's 4 out of 5.
It's 3.5.
3.5.
Very close, very close. We have Rich, who says, my biggest takeaway from Donnie Darko is, it's amazing what a person can get done when they know the end of the world is coming.
I fucking hate that. I hate that so much.
That's their biggest takeaway from this, by the way.
It seems positive, so I'll go 4 again. I'll say 4 again because it feels positive, but there's no opinion.
Hey, guess what? It's 3.5 again.
Fucking hell. Oh, I'm in the wrong. Not only am I getting crushed by a fucking jet engine, and an elephant's also going to fall on me.
Oh, shit.
And an anvil.
Oh, no. And a piano.
Oh, no.
Theodore says, if you watch the director's cut on acid, it will fuck you up.
It will fuck. That's going to be 5 out of 5. If you're watching acid...
It's 5 out of 5. Yay. You get to live this time.
I got one correct.
Very good. And which one was my review?
Doctor Who.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
I just thought, it's my favorite Doctor Who episode.
I mean,
yeah,
true.
it's up there with Weeping Angels, you know? It's that time the Doctor dressed up in a rabbit suit and fucked with a teenager.
All right, well, that's the episode right there. Thanks for listening to our in-depth review of Donnie Darko here on Oldie But a Goodie.
A very deep review, I'd say.
Silly review, I would say.
Yeah.
If you like the show, we're on all the socials at Oldie But a Goodie Pod on Instagram and Facebook. We've got some personal accounts there too.
We're on all the socials, including that one run by Trump, that like alternative Twitter thing he has.
Is that? Oh, I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, no one cares.
No, we're not on that. We're not on Zack Snyder's Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one that Kanye just bought so he could say more anti-Semitic things, you know.
All the stuff, we're on patreon.com/oldiebuddygoodypod for ad-free episodes and also bonus episodes like the bonus episode of The Others, which is out soon. Also, thanks to everyone who reviews us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That really helps out the show. Thanks to Josh Cake for the theme song. Thanks to That's Not Canon Productions for all this shit. And also thanks to everyone who's been listening to the show for so long. Fuck, this is episode 199. Next week is episode 200, Zach.
Ooh.
And it's coming out on Halloween, so it's going to be a spoopy Halloween spectacular next week, no matter what happens.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's very exciting. I'm sure we're going to do something, you know, really good.
Yes.
And a good use of our fucking time.
I think so, because I've got all the options here, and I guess I'll read them out to you, and then you can pick maybe one of the options, and then we could also pick some of the other horror films we've missed out on this year.
Oh, yeah,
that could be fun. I don't know. Let's see what happens. But I'm going to read these options out to you, all right?
All right.
Your first options for movies that we could do in episode 200. Amilai. It's an award-winning comedy about a shy waitress who decides to change the lives of those around her to help deal with her isolation. That's a very popular drama.
Okay.
I think it's French. It's probably French.
Right. Okay. That's not a horror though. We want to do a horror for a big 200. We want something a bit big.
Yeah. So not like an arty kind of French.
Yeah, not quite what I'm looking for. Sounds good though.
How about domestic disturbance?
Oh yeah.
A man learns that his ex-wife's new husband is a little bit sus, so he goes to investigate.
That also doesn't sound very horror-esque. All right.
Okay. True. All right. How about The Man Who Wasn't There? Yeah. A barber plans to blackmail his wife's boss for money to invest in a dry cleaning business.
Okay. So far, the options have not been great this week. This is going downhill fast. I hope you've saved some good ones for the end.
What about The One? Martial arts sci-fi film with Jet Li about an agent who travels the multiverse to kill other versions of himself so he can become the One.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it. That's all I got.
It just sounds interesting. Well, I'll put it on the Patreon list. It's not really horror.
No, that's the problem here. We're really looking for something like horror, like a big 200th episode. I want like a big horror like franchise almost, you know.
This one isn't a franchise, but it is pretty horrible because it's Wasabi, a French action comedy about a cop who teams up with a spy to learn secrets about his daughter. It stars Leon the Professional, and I've seen it with Ben, and it's awful. Don't pick it. It's really bad.
Damn it. I was about to say, that sounds really great, apart from the French bit.
Wow.
Got him.
Yeah, no, that's a terrible film. Don't pick it. Don't pick it.
That's a shame, because that sounded all right.
You've got Monsters, Inc.
Oh, yeah?
Pixar movie about power company gets energy from scaring kids. Yep. Is that horror enough for you, do you think?
No.
Well, we got one more option.
Oh, one more. Okay. One we will option? Well, it better be a good option.
It's called Jason X.
Oh!
Jason Voorhees is in space killing people.
Oh, hell yeah. Now that's what I'm looking for. That's an old-time classic. That's part of a big series. Boom. Done. Lock it in.
You're locking in Jason X?
Oh, absolutely. Jason X has got to be it.
Boys!
Whoa.
Boys!
Who was that?
It's me! I'm Dr. Brown!
Dr. Brown?
Hey!
Oh my god.
Dr. Brown! It's me! Don't you recognize me, boys? I'm the doctor from the future!
Like Doctor Who?
Can't you recognize this iconic white lab coat and glasses on the head? And me saying 88 miles an hour, in the DeLorean sideways door car.
No, for some reason I don't recognize any of those things.
You sound a lot, very familiar. Are you from, a sci-fi movie or something?
I'm from the future.
Oh my god, the future?
Yeah, you gotta go back with me there.
Huh.
Why are you here, Dr. Brown?
Boys, I gotta tell you some real important news.
Oh yeah?
Boys, I gotta tell you that the world is gonna blow up. The world is gonna blow up.
Oh no,
that's terrible.
If you twos don't help me out, and you gotta do something for me, otherwise the world is gonna blow the fuck up.
Oh no.
Okay, what do we need to do? How can we help you?
You gotta watch a very specific movie.
Wait, we can't do Jason X?
No. If you watch Jason X, then your world is gonna blow up.
Oh no!
Because it doesn't follow the required order of things.
Gotcha.
It's gonna cause a chain reaction, like in the movie Final Destination.
I haven't seen that one either.
And it's gonna cause a domino effect. That's gonna cause the overturn of life as we know it.
Oh, like in the movie Robots.
Yeah.
Like in the movie The Butterfly Effect.
Oh, yeah, that also makes sense.
So, boys,
Yeah?
you gotta listen to me very carefully.
Yeah.
Are you listening? Do you have your listening hats on?
I don't have a hat for listening.
I mean, my headphones are on, so...
Yeah, those ones. Now listen to me very carefully. There's a very specific movie. It's called Twilight.
Oh, fuck me.
You got that, boys?
Yeah.
There's no way you can fuck this up. This is an easy task. Okay, boys? I'm gonna hop back into the sideways door car and fuck off back to where I came from, and really fast. So,
Wow.
that's me. Bye.
Can't believe you just hijacked our episode 200.
Yeah, wow. Okay, see you later, Docky Brown.
I'm already gone.
Well, there you go. Yep. So I guess we're doing that instead, huh?
Twilight.
Yep.
For episode 200? The fucking timing, man. What?
Yeah, well, that sucks.
Oh my god.
Well, we can watch Jason X afterwards, I guess.
Maybe. Oh, it depends if Friday the 13th wins the Mega Series on Patreon, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Alright, well, fuck it. Alright, next week, Twilight, I guess.
I guess if we have to save the world, maybe it's a Well, it makes sense if it's a timey-wimey thing.
Yeah.
And if we don't do it, the world ends.
It's like Donnie Darko.
Yeah, it's much like Donnie Darko. I guess it all comes full circle.
Well, sorry to our long-time listeners, we're not doing something big and exciting for episode 200. We're doing Twilight.
It's certainly big.
Fuck.
It can't be that bad, right? Surely it can't be that bad.
We got to get some guests on.
Yeah, you know what? Let's get some help on this. Sure, we can get through this. We just need a few hands on deck. You know, it's our 200th episode. We could pull a few strings, get a few of the greats in here.
Some of the fam. All right, well then we'll do that next week for episode 200, Twilight. Apologies to everyone who wanted to. Man, I really wanted to do a whole bunch of horror films, but I guess we are doing at least one in the form of Twilight.
Here's the thing, though. Maybe it will be horror, because it will be horrifying to watch.
Well, that's next week. Let's wrap it up with the best quote from Donnie Darko.
I've got my best one.
You've got your best one? I'm looking through all of mine, and honestly, I just think you're the fucking Antichrist.
Well, sometimes, Sandro, I doubt your commitment to sparkle motion. A plan has finally come into fruition.
Oh, they will never know, brother Zach.
Why you call me brother? We're good friends. I get it.
Yeah.
But, it's a little weird.
Yeah, I was just kind of getting into the role of, mad scientists.
Yeah, do they call themselves brothers?
Probably.
You gonna call Doc brother? Brother Doc?
Oh, yeah? Anyway, I wonder if they're ever going to suspect anything, Zach.
Oh, yes. They will never suspect anything. My clone is far too stupid to figure out anything.
That's true, and my clone is too obsessed with coming up with dumb segues to notice anything else.
That's true. He always does obsess over those things.
Yes, our plan is coming to fruition. Our simple plan. As you already know, Zach, our plan was to replace ourselves halfway through that episode seamlessly with clones. Clones who we're going to play a sick experiment on.
I do know that. I don't know why you're explaining it to me again, but, you know.
Oh, true.
But, no, yes, an evil plan. Oh, fantastic.
And then, of course, as you already know, we brought in our cohort, Dr. Brown from the future.
Yeah.
Yes, sure, Dr. Brown isn't from New York, but they won't know that because we programmed our clones to have forgotten all information about the movie Back to the Future.
Yes.
So episode 200 is going to be devilishly wonderful.
They'll never know the difference.
Oh, hey, Doc Brown.